In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on July 30th, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Milwaukee Brewers versus Boston Red Sox. The Milwaukee Brewers and Boston Red Sox will continue a 3-game interleague series on Friday afternoon at Fenway Park. Friday's series opener finished with a 4-1 score in favor of the Brewers, who cashed in as a -164 favorite. Milwaukee is atop the National League Central at 56-44. While Boston is in last place in the brutal American League East at 50-51. These teams last met back in May of 2017, when the Brewers took 2 of 3 at home. In the month of July, these pitchers have been at a completely different level, as Eric Lauer is pitching to a 3.22 ERI in 4 July starts, while Nick Pivetta is 0-2 with a 9.95 ERI in 4 starts. The offenses as of late have shown a huge difference, as Milwaukee is averaging 5.7 runs per game in their previous 10 games, while Boston is scoring 3.18 runs per game in their last 11 games. The Brewers have won 5 of the last 6 games against the Red Sox. Lauer is coming off a bad start, but overall he has been strong, and he sits with a 6-3 record. Pivetta only gave up a run in his last start, but he gave up 7 hits, and I expect the Brewers are going to tee off on him here. The Brewers should get over their season average of 4.64 runs, so the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. Neither starting pitcher would say they are doing great in their last 7 starts, as Lauer has a 4.62 ERI in 39 innings, while Pivetta has a 6 ERI in 39 innings himself. These bullpens have not been great, as the Brewers are 14th with a 3.92 reliever ERI this season, while the Red Sox are 25th in MLB with a 4.23 bullpen ERI so far. The over has hit in each of the Brewers' previous 5 games against American League East foes, while it also hit as 5-0-1 in the Red Sox' last 6 interleague home games against winning teams. Lauer has been well below average by FIP this season, and while the Milwaukee bullpen has been good in general, its best 2 options by far in Hader and All-Star Devin Williams both pitched on Friday night. Losing Devers hurts, but this is still a capable Boston offense with a 101 WRC+, as some fill-ins like Robert Snyder have been far better than expected. This is not a good Boston offense with the 8th worst bullpen ERI in baseball, and the injury to Strom has been a big blow. With how difficult it is to pitch in Fenway, these starters will struggle, and the bullpens won't be able to hold the respective offenses down either. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Miami Marlins. Saturday evening inside of Lone Depot Park will be the second game of a 3-game series, as the New York Mets and the Miami Marlins square off. The Mets are sending veteran righty Carlos Carrasco to take the pill, as he is coming off a no decision against the San Diego Padres, as he went 5 shutout innings and gave up 6 hits with a pair of walks and a single strikeout. The Marlins have young southpaw Trevor Rogers taking the hill, as he lost to the Cincinnati Reds by allowing 6 runs on 8 hits with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts in 3.2 innings of work. New York comes into this game with a 3-game lead in the National League East over the Atlanta Braves, while Miami is in 4th place of the National League East and is 15.5 games behind the Mets. New York will start Carlos Carrasco, who has allowed 0 earned runs in his last 2 starts. For Miami, Trevor Rogers has allowed 10 runs in his last 9.2 innings pitched. Trevor Rogers is 1-5 with a 5.82 ERI in his last 7 starts, while Carlos Carrasco is 3-2 with a 4.33 ERI over his last 7 starts. The offenses in the last 7 days have been showing a slight difference, as New York is averaging 4.8 runs per game in their previous 5 games, while Miami is scoring 3.43 runs per game in their last 7 games. The New York Mets have been dominating this season against the Miami Marlins, and this should continue. So the New York Mets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. These bullpens haven't struggled too much throughout the season, as the Mets are 9th with a 3.5 reliever ERI, while the Marlins are 18th in the sport with a 4.01 bullpen ERI so far. Looking at the offenses as of late, the Mets are averaging 3.67 runs per game in their last 9 games, while the Marlins are scoring 2.75 runs per game in their previous 12 games this season. I see the Mets having success at the plate in this one, but I don't see them scoring more than 7 or 8 runs by themselves. I also see the Mets completely shutting down the Marlins when they are at the plate. Miami has struggled against RHP all season, and that trend will continue in this one. The Marlins are scoring the 24th least amount of runs per game, and they have the 21st lowest overall team batting average. The Mets are allowing the 4th least amount of runs per game, and they have committed the 5th least amount of fielding errors this season. They won't give the Marlins any free bases, and they will completely shut them down when they are at the plate. Carrasco is getting the start in this one, and he is pitching well enough to keep the Marlins off the scoreboard for the majority of this game. The Mets will be the only team having real success at the plate in this one. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus Cincinnati Reds. The Baltimore Orioles face the Cincinnati Reds with both teams heading in opposite directions ahead of the trade deadline. The Orioles have a 51-49 and with 30 wins in the last 2 months have climbed into the wild card race in the American League, while the Reds have a 38-61 record, which is the second worst in the National League. For the upcoming game, the Orioles will turn to Dean Kremer as their starting pitcher, while the Reds will turn to Tyler Mahle to start the game. While their placements in their respective divisions may make these teams appear even, that is far from the case. If the Orioles were in the weak National League Central rather than the incredibly strong American League East, they'd nearly be in second place. Regardless, they should be able to prove their superiority on Saturday. That hasn't been able to be said recently for the Orioles, but they're performing far above expectations. They've also been able to maintain it consistently enough for them to be trusted against opponents like the Reds. Baltimore is currently eyeing the postseason, while Cincinnati is doing quite the opposite. They just dealt outfielder Tyler Naquin the other day, who was one of their RBI leaders. The even bigger news has been their willingness to deal starting pitching Luis Castillo. He even recognized the crowd in his recent home start, as it was likely his last one there as a member of the Reds. That puts even more pressure on Tyler Mahle, who has not lived up to expectations. He helped them complete an upset in his last start, but he spent much of the month on the injured list. Prior to that, the Reds had lost 4 of his last 6 starts, including one against the league-worst Nationals. Baltimore's Dean Kremer is no ace either, but he just needs to open up strong for the top 5 bullpen coming in after him. Dean Kremer has been rough this month with an ERI over 5, but he's still been good on the year and has a 3.06 ERI. Tyler Mahle has a 4.94 ERI and .260 allowed batting average at home. The Orioles have won 3 of his 4 starts this month and can make it 4 of 5 against the Reds' league-worst bullpen. The bottom line is we're getting the clear and away better team at a cheap price. It's hard to make the Cincinnati Reds favorites against anybody most nights, so the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. Both teams have been carried by their lineups, and the upcoming game should reflect that, with both the Reds and Orioles driving in runs from the first pitch. The Reds, who average 4.40 runs per game, should constantly play base runners with Brandon Drury, Tommy Pham, and the rest of the lineup making contact against Dean Kremer and the rest of the Orioles pitchers. The Orioles, who have been scoring 4.59 runs per game since June, should run up the score with Anthony Santander, Austin Hayes, Ryan Mountcastle, and the rest of the lineup swinging for the fences with good contact off the bat throughout the game against the Reds pitchers to drive in runs at will. This will be a high-scoring game with both lineups stepping up. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.